This guy right here, he's one of the guys.
誰
You know who that is? This is the mastermind behind September 11th. This is the mastermind behind flying the airplanes into the buildings,
武
the
器あげ
World
た中
Trade
の一
Center
人
towers and the Pentagon.
やば
This is the guy. So he's one of the guys to whom we gave all the weapons.
皆さんこんにちは、ソロです。というわけで今回の動画は 9.11 がどのようにして起こったのかっていうのをサムさんがお話をしていたので、その動画の切り抜きを見ていきたいと思います。前の動画と合わせると分かりやすくなっていると思いますが、この動画ではなぜ 9.11 が起こるきっかけになったのかっていうのを簡単に知ることができます。純粋にね、この動画を楽しんだり、出るように難しそうな英単語を貼っておくので、英語の勉強にもなると思います。それでは早速行ってみよう。
You know, it's funny, like, I knew I was going to get to this place in this talk, in this class. Here's the message, y'all, right? The world isn't what we think it is. And the only way to understand what the world is to spend some time really examining it. So when those of us in whatever country we're in and whatever country we align ourselves with, when we stand behind our country and we say, we give our support to our country, we give our support to all the things that our country does. And when we give our support to all the things that our country does, sometimes it means a lot of things that we don't understand. Here, what it meant was we're going to give weapons to all these guys because they're fighting our enemy. Even though these guys right here are really some pretty bad people. Really bad people. We don't trust them. They don't trust us. They don't like us. They'd like to see the end of the United States. They'd like to see all sorts of things happen. They're really some bad people with bad ideas that we in no way support. However, they're fighting our enemy, and so we're going to support them. Okay? So here, next slide. So they eventually take over. In Afghanistan, the Russians leave, and they take over, and they become the Taliban. And the Taliban means student in Pashto. And the Taliban now take over inside of Afghanistan. Okay? And the Taliban are, go to the next slide, the ones that imposed a different kind of Afghanistan. No music, really took Islam and took the most arcane ideas out of Islam and created an entire thought system based on Islam, based on the Quran, and based on their interpretation of Islam, which is most of these guys who did this, they're illiterate. They don't even read. They have no idea. I'll explain it later. I'm going to do this thing later in a few weeks that'll do this. But look, one, for example, is no music. No music at all. Right? So all your radios, all your music stuff, it all gets confiscated, right? Book. Confiscate all the books. Right? No women. This is what all women have to wear when they leave the house. No nothing, right? Just an austere, really insane way of seeing the world. And they impose this on it. These are the very people to whom we gave all the weapons. And now they impose this on Afghanistan. And we sit back, success, because we got rid of the Russians. We did damage to our enemies. And now Afghanistan lives with this. Okay? Got it? It's like, wow, that's pretty evil. Really. Like, that's really troubling in a deep way. Now, go to the next one. This guy right here, he's one of the guys. You know who that is? This is the mastermind behind September 11th. This is the mastermind behind flying the airplanes into the buildings, the World Trade Center towers and the Pentagon. This is the guy. So he's one of the guys to whom we gave all the weapons. He's part of that. He emerged out of all that. He's one of the leaders.
ガチか。
And then he comes back and says, okay, well, now we got rid of the Russians. Now we're going to come after the United States
でも
with our weapons,
でもそうなる
By the
の
way
はわかるけどさ、
right?
やばいな。
Which is like, oh, man. Okay, like if you fight war, if you fight in this way, the war's going to come back always. Violence is violence. It's going to keep going, right? And the problem, of course, isn't that this is the history. The problem is, well, what's it going to be like in the future? Go to the next one. So here we go.
そして
So September 11th happens. Next slide.
あだったの。
The U.S. invades Afghanistan.
ああ、それでか。
So now these are American troops. Okay? Now they're in Afghanistan. Now we're fighting a war. Because now we got to go after Osama bin Laden. We got to go after all these people that we supplied and we supported and we trained in order to go after our enemy. But now we've trained them, and now they're coming after us. But it's all good because, you know, the military suppliers made a lot of money on the weapons and everybody, the whole 9 yards, right? But Afghanistan suffers. So now a war, the longest war in U.S. history, is going to happen in Afghanistan. So go to the next slide.
というわけでいかがだったでしょうか。敵対をねしていたってだけで武器を上げたり支援をねしたりしていたアフガニスタンの人々がその後タリバンとなって9.11を起こしたっていうのをね最初に聞いた時はもう鳥肌が止まりませんでした。自分のね利益だけで考えて行動すると、ね、その月がねいつか帰ってくるんだなというふうにね思いました。この動画は2018年の講義なのでまだ撤退するっていう話は出てないんですけど、アメリカ軍が撤退をした今アフガニスタンがどうなるかっていうのがねすごい気になるところだなというふうに思いました。またこういったようなね動画を出していけたらなというふうに思います。ぜひこの動画の感想やご意見等をコメント欄にてお待ちしております。というわけで今回の動画は以上です。この動画が少しでもね面白かったよとか僕の動画作りのモチベーションになるので高評価お願いします。そしてこのチャンネルではこういったような議論ができそうな興味深い内容のものを月曜日と金曜日に翻訳して配信したりしています。そういったような動画をね見逃したくないよとか今1000人と小規模なんですけどこのチャンネルをね応援してくれるよって人は今のうちにチャンネル登録お願いします。というわけで今回もありがとうございました。また次回の動画で会いましょう。バイ。